We're going to move along to Ohio and be joined by head coach Frank Solich. Is Coach Solich on the line?
Yes.
Oh, good morning, Frank. How are you doing?
Fine, Ken. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. We'll let you get right. And again, a reminder for our writers, please hit *1 on your keypad for questions for Coach Solich. Frank, this month of August, as you get ready for opening up the week, again on Sunday, September 1st, 3:30 for ESPN as you travel to Louisville. What have you accomplished this month of August in preparation for traveling to Louisville?
Well, we've gotten an awful lot of players practice time. We think we've got an excellent group of freshmen, so we'll have some of those guys ready to play. Obviously, we need to get some continuity in terms of our quarterback working with our top receivers and offensive line, but we have intermingled many young guys in the system to try to make sure we bring them along as quickly as possible. I think we'll be a team that will get better as the season goes along due to the fact that in both lines, there's some rebuilding going on. The middle three, the center and two guards, will be obviously for us guys that aren't starting, but that weren't starters last year. But that's the only group that were not starters last year on our offensive football team. The rest of the guys that are starters are coming back. Defensively up front, we're going to be playing an awful lot of young guys, a lot of inexperienced guys. We feel we got enough athletes to be able to substitute freely in the defensive line, which will be huge for us and really on the entire defensive football team. So we hope to be able to keep fresh guys on the field. Some of those guys are going to have to learn at a very quick pace and gather experience as they go.
Definitely, let's go right to questions for Coach Solich.
Your first question comes from Mark Zendar with the Columbus Dispatch.
Yeah, Frank, this question was mentioned to several coaches with regard to the heat on opening day. Toledo's playing down in Florida, but it's probably going to be in the high 80s, low 90s at Louisville. And this question is with regard to your lines, especially the defensive line and mass substitutions. Are you concerned about being able to not only keep guys fresh, but the youth playing against a team that played in a BCS game last year?
Yeah, certainly there's a lot of concern concerning the depth. I think we'll have excellent depth, but again, share of that depth will be made up of guys that haven't played a lot of football for us. But again, we like the talent. We are going to substitute freely. A couple reasons. One, we need to start getting those guys a lot of confidence, building what they're all about in terms of playing time. And the heat and humidity can be a factor. Although I think the way we practice with the no-huddle offense, kind of helps your team in terms of conditioning during practice as far as the heat is concerned because of the number of reps they're getting and staying on the field. And so even though there is a concern about the heat, we hope that, we'll be able to handle it. We can certainly handle it much better if we're substituting freely.
With regard to it's not like you guys are playing nobody's state. You're playing a number 9 ranked team in the country, but at the same time you played Penn State last year at a tough place under really just crazy circumstances. How does that help a veteran team? They've been through so much. I mean, the 2 bowl games and all that. As a coach, you don't find yourself pumping up these guys or saying a lot, do you?
So, we're pretty businesslike in our approach. Being in the business as long as I have, I understand that, you try to build your team in a manner that they're going to be ready to play week after week and not try to build things up too high for one particular game or to take anybody lightly. and so it's an even kill approach that we take. It seems to be the best approach as far as my coaching style in terms of getting guys prepared to play week after week. And as important as this game is for both teams, it's still one game in a series of several games we'll be playing during the season. Great amount of importance on it. Of course, everybody wants to get off to a great start, but we'll be, I think, ready to play our best football. We always step on the field believing that we'll win. We got a tremendous challenge in playing Louisville, and that they are a top 10 ranked team, and deservedly so. They've got great experience coming back on both sides of the ball, even though they're still fairly young. They've got a tremendous amount of starters returning, a lot of experience, just great personnel, big play guys on both sides of the ball. They return basically their entire defense, and special teams, they return everybody. Their kicker hasn't missed a field goal. Did not miss a field goal last season inside the 40, and so they got a great combination of things. So we understand the challenge that we're undertaking. We're looking forward to it. We're going to play as well as we can play, and we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, their quarterback is a guy, I've seen him play many times, and he just comes up with stuff, whether it's on the run or he's such an improviser, and he's such a touch passer too. I've seen him put balls right on the money, right on the sideline, and that could be really frustrating for a defense. Who could you compare this guy to, and what do you do against somebody who can make something out of nothing?
Yeah, I'm not real good at comparing guys, but he's certainly one of the very, very top quarterbacks in the country, and a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate. He has the ability to run. He's got excellent feet, and so he can take off and run with the ball. They don't, have a lot of design runs for him. They do have an excellent running game, but they are two backs as well as one back, so they don't necessarily need him as a runner. He's capable of it, but he sure can escape and keep plays alive. One of the more accurate throwers I've seen. You look at their bowl game, and it was scary how accurate he was, and putting great touch on the ball to get the ball where very few quarterbacks would be able to get it, and which enables them to keep drives alive and to get things done down inside the red zone. So he's as good as they get, and he's a legitimate guy, and I think he's a very confident guy, very composed guy, along with having great athletic ability.
Thanks, Frank. One more quick question for Coach Solich.
Your last question comes from Evan Meyer with the MAC Report Online.
Can you talk to me about Tyler and how he come back from his injuries last year, and is he ready to go for Louisville?
Yeah, he's 100%. Has had a good camp. He's a very experienced quarterback for us, a great leader for us, and so he's upheld his end of the bargain on fall camp and how he's performed, and he's excited about the year. Wants to accept all the challenges that come about with the season that we're going to have, and obviously the schedule that we have, and so he's a great guy to have in terms of just grounding your football team as you go into a game like this, and obviously with the schedule that we have.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Well, Frank, we thank you for your time. Again, wish you best of luck again this coming Sunday as Ohio travels to Louisville. Again, that game at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Thank you for your time, Frank.